Hi, I'm Dawn Hutchinson, and I'm going to be talking about Unitarian Universalism and how they address social justice. And my scholarship area is in American religious history, so that's kind of my interest area, but I'm also a member of the Unitarian Universalist faith, and I practice here locally. And I thought I would address this by talking about the fact, or first of all, that Unitarian Universalism does not have a creed. So it means that they do not adhere to a particular belief. What they do have, though, is what they call the 7 principles of faith. So I thought I would talk about that because they address specifically social justice. So these are the 7 principles which Unitarian Universalist congregations affirm and promote. The inherent worth and dignity of every person, justice, equity, and compassion in human relations, acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregations, a free and responsible search for truth and meaning, the right of conscience and the use of the democratic process within our congregations and in society at large, the goal of a world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all, and respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. So those are the 7 principles that if you're a member of these congregations, you affirm and promote. They're not considered to be the same thing as a creed because you don't have to believe in something particularly. And as far as what practices and strategies that you use, that's what you use. So I'll use that a lot, sorry. So that's what you use to address social justice. Specifically, the social justice work today is primarily focused on racism, classism, and heterosexism, particularly in terms of how those diminish equality for individuals and democracy for society. And the primary tool is compassionate accountability. They enter into covenantal relationships with those suffering injustices, and they use their own power to privilege the epistemology of the oppressed. So they enter into covenants with these groups and fight with these groups for power in society. The practices and strategies that you use favor in promoting social justice vary, but they include churches at the local level organizing and or marching at political rallies, the formation of official statements of beliefs in social justice issues, voter registration drives, supporting the formulation of nonprofit organizations that could work to end specific injustices that they see in society, signing petitions for legislation on social justice issues. And also, one of the things that I noticed as I was kind of perusing, they also do something which they call bearing witness. And this is something where they will sit with people who are suffering injustice and they call it public attention to the issue and make official public statements as well. As far as how you cooperate with other faith traditions, this I can only speak to our local community. We are part of the LINK, which is an interfaith organization that's a service organization. We also host PORT, which is part of LINK. It's a winter shelter. We also host Friday night dinners at St. Paul's Episcopal Church and Saturday lunches there. We witness to LGBTQIA, which is a very long way of saying that we're involved in inequalities for the gay community. We also support reproductive rights, and we are involved in advocacy on a whole range of social justice and environmental issues. Also support a range of organizations by sharing our Sunday offerings with different social groups each week. We call share the basket. We take half of the basket and we choose different groups that we can help in the community as well. One of the other questions that was asked was who are the exemplar? This is one of the things that UUs like to do, by the way, famous UUs in history. So I just picked a few that were humanitarians. Jane Addams was a UU, Clara Barton, Christopher Reeve, and Albert Schweitzer.